Morning! Welcome back to Doobrey's Day. Today on Doobrey's Day is playing with glow-in-the-dark paints. Let's go! So I've been thinking about what I'm going to do for my handles for my swords that I'm making. Although I'm making the Damascus, I've still got to do the handles for it. I saw on the internet that this guy, he burnt a load of wood using a torch, and then he got some glow-in-the-dark pigment paints and painted them on there. Then using resin, he used it to make his actual scales or handles for his knives. I thought, that might be quite cool. So I've gone off and I've bought some lovely pigment colours. So yellow, green, blue, orange, pink, fuchsia, orange, red and purple. And the idea is that I'm going to go and burn some wood, and I'll do that in a moment. I'll show you that on camera. And then I'm going to paint, I don't know if the right word is, we've got to figure out what we're going to do, the pigment colours into that wood where it's all burnt. Then I'm going to seal it with a small layer of resin, let that dry, and then see if it works. I just really don't know, but you've got to try these things. So, without further ado, let's get over. Whoa, that's windy. Let's get over to the other side of the workshop. Let's get burning some wood. So I've got a couple of pieces of wood. I think this is just, I don't know, it's a bit 2 by 3. We've got an old piece of pallet here. I'm just going to use this for an experiment. I've got different types of glue to attach the pigment to. I've got the impact adhesive, I've got some super glue. I just don't know what's going to work, but you never know until you try, right? So I'm going to get these into our little vise over here. I'm going to use my blowtorch and I'm going to burn them and make them lovely and crackly and black. Let's do that. So let's take our piece of wood, let's pop it into the old vise. These are always really good to tighten this up. Right, I'm going to get my blowtorch and let's burn it. We actually want the charcoal look of the fire on here. Let that cool down. I just turn that down. Can you see the burnt look? That's what I'm trying to get. I'm going to let that cool down, and then where all these little gaps and where it's all burnt up, that's where I'm going to put the pigment, the glow-in-the-dark pigment. God, that looks cool. Well, let's do the other piece of wood and try that too.
Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push your limits with you right now. Right now, right now. Get it right now, right now, right now. Get it right now, right now.
Look at that. That looks wicked. That really does look wicked. Right, I'm going to let that cool down. And then we're going to get our pigment and have a little play with it. Whoa, I'm so chuffed with that. So, whilst my wood here is just cooling down, look at all that ripples on there, it's absolutely amazing. I've just got some acrylic. I'm going to cut a smaller piece of acrylic to go around the edges here. I'm probably going to chop this piece of wood off because it's my little test piece. Same in here, I'm going to probably chop a small piece off. Put acrylic around the edges. This is new acrylic. The last acrylic I had was about 3mm. This is only 1.5mm, so a lot thinner. Hot glue it around there, ready to put some resin in, but only after I've done the the pigments. So let me get these cut in half quickly, and then let's cut the acrylic out. Okay, I've got my 2 pieces of wood. I'm just going to use a brush just to get rid of some of the charcoal off of it. And this is all experimentation. I don't know what it's going to look like. Get rid of those. Clear this one. Right, I'm just going to get some pigment. What colours should we go for? Should we go for green? Everyone likes a bit of green. And we'll go for orange-red. So go for green and orange-red. Right, and let's put, I've got no idea how much. Start with that. Then gently brush it in. Ooh, look at that. Into the grooves. I need a little bit more down here. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. It's quite grainy. It's like it's sort of like sand. And again, I'm making this up as I go along. I haven't really figured out how to do this. So that's on there. Let's go across. I guess I want it in the grooves, but not anywhere else. Okay, can you see that? Okay, I'm just going to put the orange red on. Same process. I'm just going to sprinkle it across. And I'm hoping the impact adhesive will allow it to stick. We'll put this over here with my green. Real green. For those who know Blackadder. Let's see if this sticks. It's certainly sticking to the brush. Ooh. I think so far the first method looks a bit better. But let me get the hot glue gun on. I'm going to brush a little bit of that off, get the hot glue gun on, put the perspex around the outside, and then put the resin on, and then let it set overnight. Okay, so I have now built the little plastic things around the outside. Again, this is just a trial, so I'm not that fussed about it. So this one's the one with the impact adhesive. This one I tried a little bit of super glue in there, but do you know what? The colour's staying in there pretty well. I might put a tiny more bit colour in both, and then give it a small brush. Then I'm going to get the resin out and resin these babies in. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, the final part for today is resin. So I've got my wonderful gloves on. I have my details here of how to make the resin up. I'm going to make 50 ml. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think it'll be enough. I need 1 ml of catalyst and 50 ml of the resin. Here's the resin they're going to be using. Just got it off of Amazon. And you get the hardener with it. And then you get the syringe to measure out 1 ml. And you get stirry spoon. That's a technical term. So I'll measure that into my little jug. 50 ml of that. 1 ml of hardener. And let's have a go. Show you the final product for the moment. And we're now going to leave this and see what happens. I'll be back tomorrow. Scary. It's the next day. Okay, so we have left it overnight. This is what they look like. And I don't think they're that good. I'm going to take the plastic off and I'm going to get a really bright light onto them. And then I'm going to see if they're glowing. My initial quick checks show that they're not working. So Mrs. Doobs said, why don't I mix some of the colour into the resin before I put it onto the wood? So anyway, before we do that, let's just rip the plastic off and let's see where we are. So this is my really bright LED light. Let's put this on and let's blind ourselves. Alright, let's put it on these and let's see what they do, if anything. Leave that for a moment. Aha, we have some glowing. It's not that bright though. Yeah, it's just not that bright. So here's the wooden block. Let me just put a little bit of the powder on here. And let me spread it around, but I want to keep it thick. Okay, let me try that. Is that bright? Is that luminous? Ah, yeah, look. So that works. So maybe it's the thickness of it. Okay, let's try something different. Okay, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try two things. I'm going to make a thicker layer of the paste on the wood. So I'm going to burn the wood, put it back on. I'm also going to do that on one piece of wood. On another piece of wood, I'm actually going to mix the glow-in-the-dark pigment into the resin. Let's give that a try. Okay, my two little boxes have been made. I'll just show you those. Very basic. I'm now going to put some of the green in. I think I'll put it in that one because that's a lot deeper. So I can show you that. I'm going to put the green in there, And then I'm going to mix up the resin, pour the resin in top of that one, then put some of the green in this one and mix that together. So let's put the green in first. Okay, that seems to have gone into the grooves pretty well. I don't think there's any more I want to put in there. And then this one, I'm going to mix it in with the resin. I'm going to use a heat gun to take some of the bubbles out shortly. It's a trick I've seen. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to put a little bit of the green powder into here. There's green in there. That's so green. It's lovely. As it starts to dry, if you get a hot gun, you can gently get rid of some of the bubbles and make it clear. I'm going to move this to the back and leave that all to set. We'll come back tomorrow. And it's the next day. So Mini Doobs and I were playing out here last night. We brought our torches out and we had a little play with the glow-in-the-dark paint. But anyway, they are now dry. These are the original ones. These aren't so good. I just don't think there was enough pigment in them. But these ones, which I'm just going to break out now, are brilliant. So I'm going to break them out of the plastic and then I'm going to put some light on it and show you them glowing. Quickly rip them out of the plastic. Okay, 5 minutes later, and they're out their wonderful boxes. So these need a bit of cleaning up. Just run them over onto the Velcro, but I want to show you them glowing. So I'm going to get a light on, I'm going to charge them up, and then I'm going to show you them in the dark. Give them a good charge, and then I'll probably take them over to the dark side of the workshop and show you. Take it across to the dark. And you can see, look at that, that's glowing really well. So this is the one that had the glow-in-the-dark paint put into the groove quite heavily, then the resin put on top of it. That works particularly well. I'm really chuffed with that one. That's glowing on the side as well. I'm going to take a picture. This is the next one. This is the one that had the glow-in-the-dark in the resin. Whoa, that's glowing well. That's like a, it's like a piece of space rock or something. It's real cool. Look how it glows. That's amazing. Sorry, it's not in focus. Let me try and get it in focus. Look at that. Love it. Let's try these two. Oh, so they're not terrible. They're not terrible. They're not as good as I would like them to be. Look at that one. So that's the black, the green. This was meant to be the red, but again, it's coming out quite dark. So this is the final view, guys. The ones on the outside just been recharged. The ones on the back are just dying down. But look at those. I actually like them both. They're really, really good. So that proves we can do it. We can make glowing handles. We know how to do it now. I would actually make the grooves a bit deeper and put some more colours in. But what I'm going to do in a week or two is actually go and make some proper resin handles with the glow-in-the-dark, and we can put them on our knives. That's it from this week, guys. Hope you found it useful. I'll put the links to the glow-in-the-dark paints and everything down below. If you've got any questions, give me a ping. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you next week on Doobrey's Day. Bye for now. Bye.